Hello, Lincoln Street School parents. My name is Drew Bairstow, and I am pleased to be here to provide you this presentation about competency-based learning reporting at Lincoln Street School. With me today, I have two esteemed colleagues, Julie Lambert and Deanna Donnelly. Would you two mind introducing yourselves?
Sure. I'm Deanna Donnelly. I'm the assistant principal at Lincoln Street School.
And I'm Julie Lambert. I'm the curriculum coordinator at Lincoln Street School.
And as I begin to share my screen, I just wanted to give a quick thanks to our teacher colleagues and SAU administrators who have helped us through the many years that we've spent learning about competency-based education and learning about how to report on the education and the learning that our kids are doing right now. So first up on this slide is a general definition about competency-based education. The Aurora Institute is an institute that we use for information and learning quite a bit. And in this definition, I just want to call out the term mastery of learning, because that is a key component in competency-based education. When we talk about competency-based learning, what's important to know is that it doesn't relate to seat time or hours invested or even test scores or percentage of understanding of a concept as maybe we did in a traditional format. What mastery of learning does refer to is what a student knows in terms of the content that they know, and then how they can apply it to a novel circumstance.
There are 7 pillars of competency-based education, and a main theme throughout these pillars is that it gives students voice and choice. The assessments that we design are used to illustrate learning, exhibit skill development, and show what students know in a variety of ways. The focus of the assessments is on an individual learning basis. Teachers respond individually to students' needs based on the assessment results. These assessments look at active learning and take the form of project-based learning, experiential or real-world relevant learning activities, just to name a few.
So the big idea in competency-based learning and competency-based reporting is that it's not what you earned, it's what you learned. Competency-based reporting allows for the learning to be what's most important. It's not an accumulation of points. Traditional grades reflect an average of points earned, but don't account for increased learning over time. Nor do they provide students or parents with specific information about which skills have been learned and mastered and which skills continue to be worked on.
When we're talking about demonstration of learning, there are many pathways, and they are varied depending on the student's interests and backgrounds. Students take a more active role in their education with our model. There are multiple skills that are practiced and they work towards mastery through multiple means. In our model, teachers act as learning facilitators who guide students. The videos on this slide give examples of different types of modalities that are used for the demonstration of learning. Please feel free to check out the video links on this slide for examples of learning demonstrations that we use. Some of them, and some of them we're learning from.
On this slide, on the PDF that we've attached to this update, you'll be able to click on it and you'll be able to see an example learning report. Now it's just a mock-up of what our 3rd graders will be receiving, but it will give you a decent idea of how we plan to report out the learning that your students are doing over the course of time. K through 3 students will be receiving a report that is based on ALMA, which is how our teachers are inputting the learning information. Next year, K through 5 students will receive an ALMA learning report. Our 4th and 5th graders this year will be receiving a narrative report where our 4th and 5th grade teachers will be reporting out similar information as we've described in the preceding slides. It'll just look a little bit differently than the ALMA report.
What you see here is the SAU 16 proficiency scale. Proficiencies are the way that teachers will be reporting to you how your child is progressing in their learning. Students can work their way through different competencies and ICANNs at varying paces. For example, a student may be proficient when reading and working with informational text because they love learning facts and interacting with all of the elements of informational text, such as charts, pictures and captions, timelines, etc. That same student may have a harder time with literature that involves identifying theme or elements of plot and character development. So therefore, the student is developing in those areas. Because mastery of foundational skills are focused on in grades K through 3, not all units of study are designed with opportunities for extended learning. A key component of extended learning involves the student independently applying what they've learned in one subject area to another. The descriptors in the proficiency scale do not equate to letter or number grades of the past. Extended learning doesn't equal an A, proficient doesn't equal a B, etc. Teachers rely on what's commonly called a body of evidence to make determinations about proficiency. A body of evidence includes several work samples and/or assessments. Teachers then look at the entire collection of work to make determinations. So what is developing? As noted on the previous slide, developing is when a student is in the early stages of learning a skill. They may need ongoing support or continued practice in order to apply skills to new tasks with accuracy and efficiency. Teachers spend time looking at many student work samples, comparing them against rubrics, and working with colleagues to make determinations. Teachers are also very well versed in what is typical or can reasonably be expected at a given point in time. For this learning report, teachers are assessing students based on January of 3rd grade.
Part of our reporting system also looks at work study practices that we call CARES and social emotional learning. These work study practices have been developed by SAU 16 and linked to our portrait of a graduate that was developed with community input. This portrait sets goals and demonstrates our community's hopes and dreams for graduates of our school system, as we not only are committed to academic outcomes, we are also focused on the skills needed to succeed beyond the hallways of SAU 16. CARES is an acronym on this slide, you'll notice, for collaboration and cooperation, advocacy, resilience and perseverance, empathy, and solve problems. CARES and social emotional learning competencies are based on teacher observations of students' demonstration of such skills. For example, collaboration and problem solving could be demonstrated in partner work and classroom assignments.
On this page, we have a few important dates that we want to keep on the forefront of our minds and of yours. The first, I mentioned earlier, on January 21st, we're going to have a question and answer session based on this presentation. So if any of you have questions about this information, please be sure to swing by clicking this Zoom link. We'll be hosting it at 5:30 p.m. On January 29th, the ALMA reports and the narrative learning reports from 4th and 5th grade will be emailed out to all families. And conferences, parent-teacher conferences, will be April 8th and 15th. In some cases, students will be invited to demonstrate their learning to families as well. And finally, the final second semester ALMA report will be emailed out on June on the last day of school, whenever that may be. Parents, I wanted to highlight that this information is going to be emailed out to your email accounts that we have on file at school. They will not be texted, so we need to make sure that we have the most accurate and up-to-date email address on file. If you've been receiving emails from me on my regular LSS updates, you should be good to go. If you feel like you have not received anything from the school via email, please make sure you call 775-8860 to give us an updated email address. And with that said, I just wanted to thank you all for joining us and for paying attention to this information. There's a lot here. And again, please be sure to join us on January 21st at 5:30 to ask whatever questions you might have regarding this information. Thanks so much. And Julie, Deanna, thank you for helping out on this important mission. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it may be for you.